Hello, Cancer. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a bonus tarot reading for you. Cancer, you continue to watch these videos, have such a high viewership, so I'm going to continue to send you out readings. So glad that you're here. Let's see what divine messages of guidance come through for Cancer's Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cross watchers are welcome. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's do that again. What's the outcome and advice for Cancer? Thank you. All right, let's take a look at these cards. We've got the Death card in reverse, Eight of Cups, and the World card in the overall energies. Death card reverse, something's not over. Something just keeps going round and round. There's a lot of emotions. It's hard to walk away from this. Something that won't end. But then we've got this contradictory energy with the World card, which is ending a cycle with achievements and accomplishments. So we got a little bit of two different messages here. Let's see if we can synthesize this for you, Cancer. Let's see what this Death card in reverse is about. It's never ending. Keeps repeating. What is this for Cancer? That's a lot. Let's see what this is. Romance. A breakup that was very painful. A leap of faith in a new direction. After a dark night of the soul, where you cut out a lot of people. This feels like endings. There's a relationship that ended. There's this expansive energy here. After, it looks like there was a relationship. Very disappointing. Emotionally very unsupportive, to say the least. Very disappointing. So disappointing. It feels like the end of this relationship created a dark night of the soul. Having to cut someone out who was once your number one. It feels like it's hard to move on, hard to reimagine your life. Because it feels like for a long time you might have been creating a life with this other person. Feels like the life with this person, not only was it dissatisfying, a lack of emotional support, but it feels too small. With someone who has you walking around on eggshells, who can't learn anything differently, someone who's who's stuck in a won't change type. Yeah, that's death reverse, just repeating the same thing. Something here about communication, a lack of communication as well. But yeah, this is a good Six of Cups. This person treated you less than, and there's no emotional care for you. So it feels like you're saying, you're here, Cancer, and you're like, I'm really cold and miserable here. Why do you always ruin things? by addressing your wants and needs, and you're upset. So it feels like this also might have been a relationship that echoed past relationship, or how you were treated in your childhood, how your parents related with each other. There's something here about like blind allegiance. Feels like you're not really seeing the person you're in a relationship. You might be projecting an idealized version onto them. There's this ability or potential to really heal your heart after feels like betrayal, feels like a very disappointing relationship that I'm tuned into. One that's hard to walk away from because there's emotional attachments. You've spent a lot of time focusing on this person, focusing on this relationship, and so it's hard to walk away from. Usually in the Eight of Cups, there's also an eclipse in the imagery. It feels like you might be utilizing the eclipse energies to eclipse out this past relationship, to cut attachments to them, to heal from these emotional wounds. All right, anything else? Part of this, it feels like, is that projection energy in romantic relationships. It feels like you kind of go into a dreamy space, fantasy. You enjoy that feeling of love, loving energy, and it feels like you get into that and kind of project it on whoever is your love interest. So you're not really seeing them as much as projecting and idealize a fantasy on them. If that's true, it feels like it makes it very difficult for you to address at the beginning of the relationship, especially red flags. Ask the uncomfortable questions, because it kind of looks like you just kind of go into your feeling. It feels really good, and you just want to feel good. Loving. That sounds very Cancer. But that hooking you on a feeling and projecting a fantasy onto someone feels like then people can hide who they really are from you. All right, anything else about the Eight of Cups? What about the World card? World card, 2 cups, 4 of cups. When you leave this way of relating to others and allow for change, allow for a different type of relationship, a different way of relating, or decentering romantic relationships. This is interesting. So tell me about this 2 of Cups. Some of you have decentered your romantic relationships and are focusing on work, centering wanting to enjoy life, have fun, not needing your world to revolve around romantic relationships. Which feels like in the past you might have been a Cancer who focused and centered romantic relationships. Like it's taking all your time, all your energy. It feels like you're breaking from tradition in relationships, breaking how your family relates to others, breaking kind of generational patterns. It looks like you attract relationships where it feels really good. You get hooked on that feeling and you project all your fantasy onto someone. And it's not based in reality. It's very ungrounded. There's something here. It feels like you're attracting people into your energy. Nice. Showing up in your own reading allows you to really take advantage of these energies, Cancer. The Chariot. It feels like you're making moves. Nice. This feels like something worth fighting for. Let me see what this is. I don't know, for some of you this might be a romantic relationship. For others it's something you really love. For some of you it feels like you've put romance on the back burner, not interested. And some of you are focusing on work. Let me see what this clarify. Alrighty. It's interesting. It feels like you've got a lot of attention right now, Cancer, because you're in this expansive energy. And you're getting attention from potential prospects. It feels like you're not as hooked in as you used to be in the past to relationships. Feels like you've moved on from someone who's very traditional, who cares about how things look, that was a bit of a bully. And now you're attracting more mature energy. It feels like you're mature, Cancer, like you've matured. And there are people that you're just not interested in moving forward with. Feels like if they can't fit into your reality. In the past, you were fitting into romantic partners' realities. Like you gave up kind of who you are to be in someone else's energy, someone else setting the energy. This looks like you are very mature. You've allowed what you've gone through to give you that level of maturity. And you're sifting and sorting what it is that you're looking for in a partnership. Okay. There's a lot of kind of like regret or remorse here. It feels like this is in regards to relationships. You're in this very expansive energy. It feels like you're focused on work. And there's a lot happening in your romance. It's like you're figuring out what you want, who. This feels like you might be dating, maybe multiple people. And they each have their different winning qualities, and they have, you know, detractors. What's interesting is it feels like you're wanting someone who can make moves, or who's making their own moves as well, that has a lot going on for them. There's also something here, just kind of what to be mindful of. Feels like there's a bit of rejection energy here. If someone's feeling rejected, to be gentle. As it feels like their rejection, they take it very personally. And so while you're out there sifting and sorting and dating, to be mindful of people's emotions and feelings. And right now it feels like there's a lot of reactivity. And so to be gentle. Don't poke anybody. Don't incite anybody, especially the people that you're dating. There's a lot. It feels like a tinderbox. It feels like it could... just be gentle with the people who you're potentially looking at. It looks like there might be 2 or 3 for some of you. For the rest of you who don't have romance, it feels like you're focusing on work and you're attracting a lot of people interested in your work. And it feels like what you love life. You're loving what you're doing. And that it's compounding and creating. There's something about what you do that's not traditional. Breaking from tradition in making moves. Standing out. There's this very mature emotional energy. It feels like you're rock solid. Even though there's all these waves around you, feel still very solid. I would just be mindful. Don't poke anyone's buttons. Don't incite anything. Right now it feels very reactive, and there's no reason to join in that reactivity. All right, Cancer. In what's hidden, we have the Hanged Man and Justice reverse. Feels like you were in a place where you were overgiving, stuck, vulnerable, and that created injustices for yourself. A lot of unfairness, a lot of sadness and confusion, lack of clarity too. Then the Tower hit and this false reality collapsed. It feels like this happened for you to get you out of an unfair environment, an unhappy space where you're being taken advantage of. So I feel like this Tower, a false reality, happened for you, collapse. Okay, that's that past relationship. It feels like right now you are, boy, you're really streamlining who has access to you, who doesn't have access to you. If it doesn't work, it's not like people are bad and good. It doesn't feel like you're black and white or judging people. It's just realizing who can hang and who can't. And it's not a judgment. It's just like, hey, I'm just figuring out what works and who works and who doesn't. It just feels like there's some people that you might be rejecting or kind of cutting out, saying no to, and it feels like there's a lot of emotions involved, and so being very careful, considerate, compassionate. Ooh, Hanged Man coming out again. Okay. Oh, with Justice upright this time and Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Repeating cards. You were in an environment that was not loving, where someone was actively manifesting against you, and you were giving everything to that relationship. It looks like you see that now. And to create justice for yourself, you're embodying that Libra energy. You're becoming justice in your thoughts, staying focused on what you can control and not focusing on what you can't. Yeah, there's a lot of balance coming in. Looks like you're learning to reconnect the dots in a different way. Oh, you're cultivating what you desire, planting seeds of what you want along the way. All right, so what else is... Wow, okay. There's this unhappiness from the past that keeps coming in, that's keeping you from expanding how you would prefer. It feels like you're pulling your punches. You're not going for something oh. But what you are gaining is inner discernment. You're figuring out who's for you and who's not for you, who's a match and who... It feels like this is kind of new. In the first part of the reading, I was talking about how I'm perceiving Cancer, that you get in your feelings and you start projecting onto people. Maybe not just romantic relationships, but kind of who you think they are for you in your life, what role they play, instead of just getting to know them. Go slowly and figure out who they are instead of trying to immediately decipher what role they are, who they are, and take the time, go slowly, Knight of Pentacles, slow, to see what their actions are and how they act, and slowly gaining access instead of gaining access completely. It feels like this, you're learning a lot of discernment, inner discernment, And it doesn't mean good and bad, this person's bad, this person's good. Are they for you? Are they a good fit for you? It's not that black and white. It's much more subtle and just about where your energies are, how you're feeling, where you're going. And it feels like you're learning a lot about yourself, about maybe how you relationship. All right, in the outcome and advice, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Missed opportunity or rejecting an opportunity. It's a seed. Ace of Pentacles is just a seed. It's not a fully formed, perfectly ready, already grown. It's something that you would have to water and nurture into existence. But with it in reverse, feels like you're saying, no, thank you. Eight of Swords reversed. You see clearly. Seven of Wands in reverse. Unprotected. Nine of Swords. Comfort zone. You see clearly. It feels like someone's coming in. One of the many suitors that I see here. Coming in. And they want an enmeshed relationship. They don't want boundaries. And it feels like that it feels like it very quickly goes into like a comfort zone, something familiar, which familiar from your past, it doesn't feel familiar good. It feels familiar as like you're trying to think it through up here. Well, and maybe this and maybe that, you're trying to figure out if they're the right one instead of just allowing time and their actions to show you. Feels like you try right away to figure out, and just instead of enjoying the journey of, I don't know if we're just going to figure it out. We're going to take the time it takes, go slowly, and figure this out. And it feels like what you're figuring out is who's not for you, which is just as important as finding who is a good fit. Anything else about the advice and outcome that would help Cancer? Four of Pentacles coming out as a challenge. It feels like very quickly there's this like a need that's put on relationships and holding on. So either you're doing this, Cancer, or who you're attracting kind of has this holding on. Four of Pentacles is holding on, thinking this is as good as it gets. If that's how you see the possible romantic partner, well, this is as good as it gets. I've got to hold on because I don't see anything else. It feels like it's a pretty low bar. Wow, Six of Cups. I don't see this as a past person, but it feels like, oh, this past person, not this lifetime, but a possible soul connection coming in. But it's almost like you're testing yourself, and people coming in, there's a level of discernment. You've got to show yourself that you're not going to attract, you're not going to say yes, you're not going to project your fantasy onto someone, just anyone, or not doing that projection stuff anymore at all. Feels like if you are discerning that there is a loving relationship coming in, if you want romance, if you want a loving relationship. Empress. Feels like it's very healing. You're very attractive. It feels healing. Feels very different than how you've relationshiped in the past. It's very... Oh. Oh, wow. So Cancer, you're very giving, over giving at times. This feels the other direction. It feels like this person shows up and is very giving, supportive. What more can I do? What more? Holy cow. Wow. So you're not having to work so hard. You're not projecting onto someone. Someone's showing up and wanting to care for you, take care of you, help you, take care of, build, co-create. You're spoiled for choice, 7 of Cups. There's something here about trusting your lower chakras, trusting your excitement, your attraction, and trusting if you're not. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. This feels different, new way of relationshiping. It feels like it's from heart space on down. Feeling very safe, excited for this relationship, steady, supported. This feels like someone doing a lot for you, a lot for you. Sweet messages. There's this expansive energy here. It's like you've reimagined yourself and your world, and it's working. I'm also getting to, this isn't a relationship. It feels like, especially at the beginning, to keep your own counsel, to not post this, not talk to other people, but just get to know this person. There's something about, because it takes time. It takes time to see if this is a good fit. It feels like you're not avoiding or ignoring red flags. Feels like you're addressing them. It also feels like someone who has something going on in their life, something very creative. Ooh, we're back into this past energy. It feels like the past relationship caused a lot of woundedness. And this new relationship, yeah, I'm getting that you're sifting and sorting. You're figuring out who's a good fit and who's not. And it's not about good people, bad people. It's just, are they a good fit? Who's a good fit for you? Oh, there's a lot of you. Okay. There is a past person that keeps coming up in this, and you keep showing that you're not interested in past energies or anyone who's like that past relationship. I think that's good. It feels like you've changed, so you're not interested. Feels like you might still attract in something similar to the past. And so you're showing yourself that you're not projecting onto them a fantasy and getting lost in the feelings. You're letting them show you who they are. You're not giving them a label, who you need them to be in your life. It takes some time, weeks, months, to see in different settings if the relationship works. There's something here about the romanticized, idealized fantasy that might be at the heart of how you relationship that you're changing. So you have a real relationship with someone and not a relationship with a projection. So I hope that's helpful, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.